What's going on, gang? Welcome back here to High Rollers Roads and Rails for another long-awaited video. I know I've taken a few weeks off, but I'm really excited to show you what I got today. But with that, guys, first, make sure we hit a like goal for this video, guys. Let's get this video to 100 likes. So make sure you take a second, smash the like button, and we're going to get right into it because we got some really cool pre-order items that are up on the layout now. So like I said in the intro, I've got some really cool pre-order cars that just came in. I've been waiting for these cars for over a year, so super excited that they're finally here now. So with that, let's jump up on the layout and let's take a look at what we got. And here we are. Here's the first set of cars that I want to talk about in this video. These are MTH bi-level passenger cars, and these were custom runs by the train Loft out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. As you can see, they're in the Virginia Museum of Transportation paint scheme. And these are based upon a real prototype. These cars, the real versions, were ran on the Buckingham Branch 611 J-Class excursions in 2023. As you can see, they have a N&W style paint scheme, but it does have the Virginia Museum of Transportation, who are the owners of these cars. Now, in real life, they have 5 of these cars, but for my purposes, I bought a 2-car pack. Now, Jeff did do a 2 separate 2-car packs, so you could get 4 of these cars if you wanted them. The road numbers I got were the 415 and the 413, which again are prototypical to the real ones. And I must say that these cars are just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, let's just take a look. I mean, really nice, detailed interiors. We got figures in. These bi-levels are just really, really unique. Now, these are based off of like a commuter-style bi-level car. The real versions of these came from the VRE, which is the Virginia Rail Express, and is a commuter rail service up in Northern Virginia. The VMT bought these cars, had them moved to the Buckingham Branch Railroad in Goshen, Virginia. And again, they were used for the 2023 611 excursions. Now, hopefully that they'll work out a deal and get 611 back on the Buckingham Branch so that we can see these cars operate in real life again. But now, I can have them operate right here on my railroad. So, some more features on these cars. The doors do open. And you can see, I mean, just these are really nice detail on these cars. And it's obviously pretty easy to tell, but these cars have a really shiny gloss finish. Tuscan here at the bottom, black on the top, with the traditional Norfolk and Western gold stripes. Now, you're probably wondering what kind of train am I going to run these with? Well, I'm working on putting an excursion train together to run behind my 611 when it comes in, which should be here soon, hopefully in a couple weeks. But these cars here are my current streamlined 70-foot MTH Norfolk and Western cars. And as you can see, it's not an exact match. We'll take a look here. The color is actually the same. However, you'll notice the difference is these cars have that traditional semi-gloss finish on them. And you'll notice that the Virginia Museum of Transportation cars have a very shiny gloss finish on it. Now, that was the one thing I was a touch bit disappointed on. But it's not the end of the world, because from a distance, you can see they still look great behind it. And so this is how I'm going to run them with my Norfolk and Western cars to create an excursion train. Now, my goal eventually with this train is to get some more cars, but get some random cars from different railroads. Because if you guys have ever been on any modern rail excursion, you know that the trains typically don't feature all cars with the same paint scheme or from the same railroad. So that's eventually going to be the goal here. But these were a great first step and a great addition to having a beautiful excursion train to run behind the 611. So real quick, I'm going to show you guys a clip of these cars running behind my J-Class number 606, again, because I don't have my 611 yet. And we're going to drop that right here. So here's the next cars that we're going to talk about, and these again are also from the train Loft out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. They are MTH custom run coke hoppers. And as you guys can see, this is again an N&W car, and it's in a Tuscan color, which is really, really sharp. Take a look up at the top. See, it's got the coke loads in the top of it. So these cars are super nice. So these cars certainly are not prototypical. We all know that the Norfolk and Western would never have painted a coal hopper in passenger Tuscan colors. However, when Jeff released these cars, I just thought they were really unique. And, you know, I'm somewhat into some fantasy stuff. I try to model prototypical, but these were too cool to pass up on. So as you can see, it's got the traditional steam era Norfolk and Western logo. And then some really nice Tuscan colors. Some nice detail on these cars. Really, look at the rivets on them. They look really sharp. You got that gold, yellowish gold lettering. And they look great. Now for these cars, I'm thinking I'm going to run these with a more modern setup. Or I may even use these as part of my excursion service. I was thinking these would be really neat. Call it a fantasy somewhat, that maybe the N&W would paint up a couple of these big coke hoppers to put excess coal in for the excursion train. So, you know, 611 might pull a couple of these just to have some extra coal for wherever it was running excursions. So, you know, I may use them for something fun like that. Or just hook them behind some other modern rolling stock and just let them ride. But again, just take a look over the top. Really sharp cars. You see on that one the brake handles in yellow, so that really stands out. You know, they're just unique cars. So I did get a 4-car set of these. And without further ado, let's run them around real quick. So before we end this one off, y'all, I wanted to provide a quick layout update because I have been making some big changes in the time since we've last seen the layout. So this is my yard corner layout. Again, you guys, if you don't know, I am on a shelf layout, so I do not have a tremendous amount of space to work with. But this is my yard corner. And I've made some big additions here. So let's take a look at what we got. So right here, obviously the first huge thing you see is this awesome Lionel coaling tower. Now I picked this up from Bob Strange for You. Gave me a great deal on it, and this thing looks fantastic. This is an accessory that I've wanted for some time, and it fits in really nicely. The next thing you'll see behind it, this is the new Atlas sanding towers, and these are made of die cast and are really, really nice. So you see I've got the sanding tower all set up, looking nice. So this is like a coal and sand refill area. I've had this accessory for a while, but this is another train loft custom run of an MTH switch tower. But you guys see it. This is the piece that I really, really wanted to talk about because we just got it finished. And y'all check this awesome piece out. So this is another custom piece by my friend Mike with Scenery Plus. Now Mike has done many other scenes on the layout, including the house that you guys saw earlier in the video, the house that's being built, the coal mine, and now he's done this awesome yard scene for me. And I told Mike that I wanted to have what looked like an engine being scrapped. And this was inspired actually by the Lionel scrapyard accessory that has the little F unit with the guys taking the door off and the welding. And I thought that was such a cool accessory, but it didn't really fit my layout. Like all the railroads they had were Santa Fe and New Haven and New York Central. It just didn't work out. You know, I needed it to be N&W based because that's how my layout's based. So this is what we came up with. So the engine you see here is actually a semi-scale J that I've had for a long, long time. And the issue is that this engine had a blown board in it and was no good. So I figured, what the heck? We'll do something cool with it. So I give it to Mike, and I gave him the inspiration for the idea, and I said, hey man, take off on it, see what you can do. So this is what he came up with, and holy cow, look at it. It's just incredible. So we'll go over some of what's going on in the scene. So as you guys, obviously the most important thing you see is these guys here, they're welding and they're cutting up the this old J-class. As you guys see, we've got some acetylene bottles right here and the generator for the welders, and you got two guys talking here, some more junk piles around it, and guy's got a burn barrel going on over here. It looks like it's getting a little out of control, but check it out, y'all. Even made smoke coming out of it. This guy here is actually putting out a fire that the arc from these welders have created here on the track. Come around to the back here, and you can see we've got some more junk laid up this way. And this is supposed to be a water tank for the fire that he's putting out. So really neat. And y'all just check out the structure. Got this tarp material on the top. Threw a nice N&W sign on the side of the building for me, and it just looks fantastic. As you guys can see, I've got another siding track on the behind it, and I've got my RF&P crane and crane tender right there. So man, this scene just really came out. And you see here, this is an old building that I had from a military place that I had, and I just wanted it to look like an old switch tower that had been partially knocked down. And as you guys can see, we had the new switch tower here. And then in the back of this scene, you can see he's made a bumper for the little siding that we've got here. And again, y'all, just check this scene out. He did such an incredible job on it. I'm so happy with the results. And then the last little piece of my yard sign, obviously, was this really neat sign that I picked up off trains. Kind of a entrance to the yard, the Norfolk and Western Railway billboard sign. So this has been my project here lately, y'all, is getting this yard up into shape. And I must say, it's very busy, and I'm really, really happy with the results. So another addition that I've made to the layout, and this is actually courtesy of my wife, so I have to say thank you for this. She got me the menards oil derrick or oil pump jack. And like I said, again, this is from Menards. And what a really great looking item. You guys can see I've scenic it in a little bit to fit my little oil refinery section here. And obviously the reason I wanted this one is it's in Texaco, and Texaco is just my favorite gas and oil type stuff, so looks really great. And the way you see it is the way it comes from Menards, so it's really sharp and got some nice detail. I did throw that little barrel in right there, but the figures came with it. And this is an operating accessory. It does move. However, I don't have it wired up, so that'll be down the line. The thing about Menards accessories that are a little bit difficult for me is that they don't run off traditional transformer power. They run off a jack that plugs into the wall. And as you can see, it's a little bit of an issue to get power from the plugs, which are down there, to up here, and not having a bunch of wires going up the wall looking crazy. So eventually I'll get this scene wired up. But for right now, I just got it sitting there looking good. Alright y'all, and that's going to wrap up this one today. Again, I was just really excited to show you guys that awesome new rolling stock I got in from the train loft. And I was really excited to show you that scene that Mike from Scenery Plus did for me. And just give you a little overall layout update of what we got going on here. So with that, thank y'all so much for watching. Just ask that you like, you comment, you subscribe, you click the bell icon notification so you get notified when I upload. And like I said, I know I took a few weeks off, guys, but I'm trying to get right back on it. So here we are with this awesome video. So make sure you watch, make sure you drop a like, and stay tuned for the next one. With that, I'll see y'all down the line.